Hey Libra, this is Raheem with the Modern Spiritualist. Today I'm going to do the April 2020 reading for Libra Sun, Moon, and Rising. So if you know your Sun and it's Libra, you're in the right place. If you know your Rising and your Moon sign, make sure to take a look at those as well. It will give you more insight into your current situation for April. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the cards and we will get started. If you don't want to see the card pulling, you can go ahead and skip. All right. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, April 2020. So your theme for the month of April is the Empress. Crossing you is the Hermit. Recent past, we've got the Page of Pentacles. Near future, we've got the Seven of Swords. Foundation, we got the Nine of Swords. Crowning you, we have the Emperor. Your attitude, we have the Two of Pentacles. Your environment, we got the Eight of Pentacles. In position of your fear, we've got the Page of Wands. In your outcome, we've got the Devil. No reversals, which is pretty interesting, I think. Give me just a minute. So, for the through line running through April, kind of your main energy, what's on your heart? We've got the Empress. Libra, I think many of you this month are really leaning into what you already have. You're not a sign that typically is terribly avoidant of reality. You're a very rationally minded sign, Libra, and I think one of your greatest strengths is you can look at a situation for what it is, see the pros and the cons. I'm actually going to turn this up. You can see the pros and the cons and multiple aspects and sides of different situations, and you're doing that in April. You're looking around, you're seeing, what isn't so great. You're taking that in and you're really applying it to the things in your life that are working, the blessings that you do have, and you're really leaning into your gratitude this month, which is really, really beautiful. I'm getting a real sense of calm, but sobriety with this energy. And crossing you is the Hermit, no surprise here. I think some of you are liking the quarantine. Some of you were like, oh, I get to be with myself and my thoughts and calm down. And others of you maybe struggling with this a bit more, but it came out in the upright. Um, and so it seems like you really are using the opportunity, the solitary time, to do you and really connect with your own energy this month. That's what I'm getting for a lot of you is using this as an opportunity to ground and come into awareness with yourself and what you need and being your own best friend essentially. Again, just a real calm, just a real sense of calm and peace and stillness with this energy. In your recent past, we've got the Page of Pentacles, which has come up for a lot of people. Um, Came up for Virgo as well. So if you have Virgo in your chart, Libra, you know things are put on pause, but you know that you're not out just yet. You're taking stock of the resources that you do have, and you're doing what you can to make them last and sustainable. We're all in kind of a new start right now. We're all in kind of a transitory period, but you're taking a look at the seeds that you've already planted and seeing what you can get out of them, which kind of comes back to this Empress energy where you're looking at what you already have and you're being really diligent with your resources in that way. You've been doing this for a while and you're still feeling this energy. So for you, I feel like some of you are just kind of like, okay, it's business as usual. Gonna be careful, gonna take precautions, gonna be careful with our resources, but we're just gonna keep going. And what's driving you forward is the Nine of Swords. So you're definitely feeling some anxiety here. You definitely have some fears. It looks like you're keeping them in check. Some of you may just be worried about other people in your life. So if you have at-risk people, you have elders, you have compromised people, or maybe just looking at the system as a whole, I feel like you're feeling a lot of concern for those that are more disadvantaged, feeling concerned for the people that you love. And I do feel that contributing to the sense of sobriety, where you're not trying to shy away from the reality of the situation, although you are trying to lean into the things that do feel supportive. So I don't get anything terribly terribly miserable. I just get a sense of discomfort from very, very real things. And it really does feel like you're keeping this in balance, Libra. And crowning you as the Emperor, which kind of mirrors the Empress as well, where you're really stepping into your power. And I think it's interesting that you are the sign of balance, and these are the masculine and feminine energies of kind of the same archetypal energy, just being expressed differently in the world. And you're really in your power with both of these things. You're procreative and nurturing and receptive and basically like sowing the seeds for the harvest kind of energy. You're manifesting, you're in touch with your gratitude. And here you're also just standing in your own power, your own leadership, maybe being a positive force for your friends and family, the people that you care about. And basically just stepping up to the plate in a time of crisis where you're like, okay, what do I need to be doing for myself and for the people in my life? Which is great, Libra. Your new circumstance is the Seven of Swords. For some of you, plans have just gone sideways, like work may be weird. Anything else you had planned may be falling through. And you're also, I get the sense that you're trying to be really diligent about how to, live your life and being as safe as possible. And so I get the sense that you're being really creative and rational and diligent with the choices that you are making. This is what I feel, you just being really selective with your choices, which I think is really powerful as well. This is a really positive reading, really balanced reading, Libra. This is your energy going into April, your attitude, which is the Two of Pentacles. Again, you're just trying to maintain balance in a world that has been thrown into chaos and strange circumstances and uncertainty. You're just like, okay, how do I stay centered? How do I keep my environment centered? How do I, navigate when things are kind of changing? How do I navigate the axis mundi here? Um, yeah. And in the position of your environment, we've got Eight of Pentacles. This is also, to me, reflecting the Page of Pentacles here, where for you it's sort of business as usual, even though you may need to be taking a step back from certain things or doing things very differently. You're still thinking about what you need to learn, what you need to manage going forward, and how to put you in the best position possible. It just looks like you're still developing yourself. You're still leveling up, whether it's career, hobby, whatever it is that you're passionate about, or whatever it is that puts food on the table for some of you, or both. You're just kind of like, okay, how do I keep developing myself? For some of you, it might just be personal development. Like, what am I learning from all this? And it's really positive. We're just really grounded and centered. It's really impressive to me, the energy that's coming through, Libra, for you. In the position of what you fear, we've got the Page of Wands. So we've got two pages here. Be mindful of your emotions. You know, you're rational minded, and in some situations, if you're not careful, that rationality can kind of um, overpower very real emotions that are coming out for you. And you may be fearing basically your own fear. You may be fearing your own fear or anger, or for some of you, sense of injustice for you is creating this anger that may be rising that you're kind of trying to like put a clamp down on. And since we're all kind of stuck inside and we're not, resorting to our usual like coping mechanisms as it pertains to our everyday life of being busy, of having activities, keeping us occupied, things like that. You may be a little bit more, especially because emotions are running high anyway, you may be a little bit more aware of it, and you have less coping mechanisms than usual to kind of deal with it. And so I get the sense that you're really afraid of your own internal self right now, as it comes to emotion, particularly passionate emotions. So things like anger is really coming up for me. So what I would suggest is, one, show up. Ask that anger, or ask yourself what these feelings need from you, and then ask yourself what you can do in a healthy way to address that anger and release it. And don't judge some of you are judging yourselves for your own emotions. Don't do that, Libra. Your emotions are there for a reason. Make sure that you're really taking care of them. You're taking care of that part of yourself. And then your outcome is the Devil. This is my absolute favorite card, is the energy of Capricorn. It looks like you're extending your vision. You come out of the end of April kind of with a higher mind. And it's coming to me in sort of a multifaceted way. It's like some of you are like, okay, how do I use this experience in April to leverage me, to get me to the next step in my own personal life? Some of you are being more awakened to the systematic failures and the fragility of our system in the sense of how this crisis is being handled. And you really are feeling a sense of wanting to right wrongs in like a social justice sense. It just seems like your awareness is leveling up, and your own vision for where you want to go is leveling up. And those could be connected in some way. They don't necessarily have to be. But it really does seem like you're really zooming out of your perspective a little bit and looking at things from a more like multi-tiered kind of level, and asking yourself, okay, what can be improved? What can be better? And that's beautiful. I mean, this is all beautiful energy, Libra. You're in a really good place with yourself, and I'm really proud of you for that. So I think that's all I have for you guys. I hope you have a great month. It really seems like you will. Or at least a month of good, solid development. And I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you.